Hi, and welcome back to my little nook in this part of the universe called YouTube. This little nook is called Koala's Creeping. And as you know, creeping means a space you crawl into. So this is my little hideout, you can say. So, welcome. My doors are open right now. Okay, so today I want to share with you an introduction to my Nordic shamanism. So I have made a video about this before, uh, like maybe a year and a half ago. No, more, 2 years ago, maybe. So, I'm not sure I'm gonna cover the exact same in this video. I just felt there are some videos I want to update after starting my social transition. Okay, that's just the way it is. So I will probably update and make a new video in a couple of years again. Probably. So my Nordic shamanism. Okay, so I want to start by saying that I'm not Sápmi. I am not part of the Sápmi culture, so not much of what I do is connected to the Sápmi culture. There are some mutual parts that well there are some parts and aspects of what I do that can be found in any culture and any shamanic culture around the world because there are commonalities, you know. So, but I want to state I am not Sápmi. I don't claim to be, and yeah, I don't use their drums. I don't use their anything. So my Nordic shamanism is very much based in the runes, the Uthark that I use, and it contains the entire universe, the entire cosmos, and everything shamanic that you can imagine, from being the master of time to soul retrieval and all the layers of. Okay, please, computer, let me do this. I hope it works to watch. Okay, so as I said, my Nordic shamanism is very much based in the runes and the Uthark, and all my medicine comes from that. And I practice Seder, which is an Old Norse word for just creating magic. And in the Nordic tradition, in my Nordic shamanism, there isn't really a word for the person that I am, what I do. I call myself a shamanic practitioner. Um, and the same in Swedish, because there isn't really a word for it, because the word shaman is Siberian. It has nothing to do with Sweden and the way I practice. So the word is like, I use the word on my social media just to like an umbrella term, which a lot of people in the shamanic communities do. Just look at the word shamanic, you know. But the word shaman isn't from my culture and from my tradition, so I don't claim to be that. Uh, and I rarely call myself that. Other people might, but I tend not to. I have started to reclaiming it a little bit, because yeah, but that's another story. I can talk about the taboos and difficulties around that word in another video if that is something that you guys would want me to do. But yeah, so there are a few words like Nordic words, but they are very much connected to Sápmi culture, and I don't want to appropriate that, so I don't use them. And then there's a really wonderful word, wonderful. I have a hard time saying English words with W and V after each other. There's a wonderful word for a shamanic practitioner that is a woman, and that is called völva. So before my social transition, before my egg crack, that's a word I sometimes use to describe myself. I don't anymore. Um, so, but I know a lot of völvor. Okay, so one völva, two völvor, three völvor. So I know a lot of I know some völvor. But that's not a word I use for myself because that isn't in line with my gender identity. So I just use shamanic practitioner, and there's some old words that doesn't resonate with me because they are old. It's like um Kona, that's also for a female or feminine practitioner. And there are some words for males, but that doesn't really resonate with me, so I don't use them because they are either like not really my part of Nordic culture, or they are so old and I don't really practice the same way, so it's difficult. So I do say shamanic practitioner, or in Swedish, shamansk utövare. So that's the word I'm going with right now. And that has changed since I made this video last time. So yeah. So how do I practice within my Nordic shamanism? Well, I follow the runes, the Uthark, from the first rune of Ur in Swedish, Urus, to the last Fe, or Fehu, Fe, Swedish, Fehu, English. So that's what I do, and I will make another video shortly that talks about the runes, an introduction to the runes. I do have an old one, but I want to make a new one of that as well. So the tools that I use are, among other things, my drums. So I have one drum that is on my wall. There, there he is. So that's one of my drums, and he's very much in indoor drum. He's an outdoor drum as well, but his sound is very much it's better for the indoor, for being indoors, than my other drums, because this drum is a synthetic drum. So and he's painted and he's all glorious, and he's what I call a guide. So in Swedish vägledare, or vägvisartrumma drum. So and he likes to be lent out. So if I have a ceremony where a lot of people need drums, I can lend him to other people. Or if I'm in a circle with friends, and someone else is gonna be doing the drumming, he's your guy, you know. That drum is your guy, and he's got a lovely drumstick. This is the drumstick. It's a bit worn and torn by now. I might ask someone to help me clean it up a bit. And so I use the drum for shamanic journeying, both guiding others in journeys and guiding and doing and drumming for myself. I also use it for enhancing energies and opening space. Mostly when I'm outdoors, I can use, but because mostly when I open sacred space, I use my rattle, or one of my rattles. So I have them behind me. I have one here, the most common one. This one I made myself. But apparently it wants to be covered in ashes right now. So this one I made myself. And it's rawhide with some crystals and lentils inside, I think, if I remember correctly. And then it's actually painted with ochre, red ochre. And I have this so I can put it on this stick that I have behind me. He usually rests on that stick. And I can walk with that stick and have the rattle on top. I like it that way. So that's the one I made myself. And then I have Where is it? There. And then I have a couple more. I'm going to show you one here. This is my sun rattle. It's actually the name of it, sun rattle. So it's a rabbit fur, rabbit skin, and then there's yellow lentils and citrine, the crystal, like citrine little nibs. Is that a word? Inside there. And this one I bought. So this is pine tree, and then this is rabbit. Or hare. I don't know if it's hare or rabbit. And then I have two more. No. I have four more rattles. I'm not gonna lie. Four more rattles. Or is it five? I don't know. I have so many rattles. I'm not gonna show you all of them. I can show you all of them in another dedicated video if you want me to. But yeah, so the drum or the drums, I have three drums. I have my guiding drum, the one on the wall, and then I have two drums that are still that are in my suitcase right now. Those are rawhide, one goat hide and one calf, and they are one is feminine and one is masculine in their energies, and the feminine one is a real warrior, and the masculine one is a healer. So my healing drum and my warrior drum. They have names, but yeah, that's the purpose of them. So I have one guide, one warrior, and one healer. And for my rattles, I usually use the red one to open sacred space. I usually use the yellow one, the rabbit one, for sun ceremonies and for bringing in joy and positive energy. And then I have one black one that a friend made with some birds painted on it. And I usually use that for like communing with the goddess Hel, or an opening sacred space with her, and also with the Norns. I use it a lot, and then I use it for ceremonies where I want to invite the duality of dark and light, or underworld, upperworld. So I use that one together with the yellow one. And then I have one that is water based. So I don't remember the hide on it, but it's a bit of corals in it. It's red lentils, and so it's very red, but it's very connected to water. And I rarely use that anymore, actually. I've used it in a few ceremonies with water, with the rune Lagu or Lagus, and with the goddess Ron and her 9 daughters, and so forth. So I have a lot of I like them, okay? And then also I love using my yellow rattle, my sun rattle in journeys. So for some, I have like I work with three different stages, you can say. One is like a meditation state, or stages of states. So meditation state. Meditation for me is we are sitting here, we're in a meditative state, and we invite things to join us in our space. So we are in our sacred space, our safe space, and we invite things to meet us here. No matter if it's a plant medicine or animals, or maybe guides from a different part of the 9 worlds, but in meditative state we are here and we are now, and we can work with sound, and we can work with healing. We can definitely some healing, but then the next state is probably, well, the deepest state is when we have to use the drum to get there. And well, I don't use the drum always to get there anymore, but when I guide other people, I use the drum to get there. So we go into the lower worlds. It's for going into the lower worlds, working with the goddess Hel, and the concept of death and rebirth and shamanic death, and also what's the word? Soul retrieval. And and deep healing, really deep healing and cleansing, and or yeah, deep. We go deep. And then there's an in between, I would say, when I work with the rattle. I use the rattle sometimes in past life regressions and going into the dream time, into the web. Uh, in the Nordic, we work with the web. We work with the norns that weave the web of life. So going into that state of mind, into that space in the dream time with the web, uh, drawing different paths towards us and letting go and cutting cords and that sort of thing. I can use it. I use rattle a lot with that nowadays. I used to only use the drum, but now I have learned to use the rattle more in that. And I love using a combination of my, what I call it, my night and dark rattle. I'm gonna show it to you guys. Or is it here? I hope it's here. It is. So this is it. So this one together with my yellow one, the dark and the light, is where these are the ones. So this has no more sound, and this is a little more, yeah, the different sounds. So all the rattles have different sounds, obviously, and depending on what sound you want, you put different things in them. I can't, I'm not saying I can put different things in my rattles that I have. That's why I have so many. Because I love different sounds for different things. And I have my very first rattle that is a small rattle in rawhide with clear quartz in it, and that is mainly used for healing nowadays, to open chakras, to align, to center, and animals love it. They are just so mesmerized with it and the energies that it exudes. So, yeah. One thing in the Nordic tradition with the Seder that I really don't practice is I practice Seder, but I don't practice it in a way like, because when we talk about Seder, sometimes or a lot of times when you can read about having like someone sitting on a stone. You maybe haven't heard about this, but like the person that is gonna journey or bring the medicine from other worlds into this world, from the non-ordinary reality, from the dream time into this, is sitting on like a big rock. I don't know the word in English for, but you know, a big rock. So, and with like a hood or a hoodie like this covered, and then there are at least four people drumming or rattling around to help with the journey. I don't I no, no, mostly because I'm mainly solitary, so I practice on my own very much, and then I sometimes for different intentions, at different times I join different people. So I have been in a witches circle, or like not a coven because I'm not Wiccan, but like a circle. For we had a circle for 2 years, and I still practice with some of those. At least one of those people that joined the circle. We practice shamanism together sometimes. And then I just join different people for different things, and I am often the one that calls people together and invite people to join me in different ceremonies with different intentions, like with the rune ceremonies I have now. So uh, because I am mostly solitary, I don't have a steady practice of, going into the woods, sitting on a rock, doing it in that style. I mostly, I mostly just find the space that I feel safe in, and I open a sacred space. It can be in the woods, it can be in my living room, it can even be in my bedroom. I love doing it outside, like where there is some kind of shelter for the wind with a fire, and then bring my stuff, you know. Depending on what I'm gonna do. I choose the time and place to do it. But I'm mostly solitary, so I don't have anyone drumming for me most of the time. So I do the drumming. I have learned to drum for myself or to have like a pre-recorded track that I listen to. And I'm gonna make another video in the future about the importance of drumming correctly when you guide someone in a journey and how, like, the correct way of doing it. Because I don't want to say that there's one correct way of doing it because there's never any one correct way of doing anything in this world. But there is some do's and don'ts, right? So I know how to do it in a way that makes my journey fulfilled. It fulfills the intention. I keep myself safe. I easily move between worlds doing it and easily come back from it and ground myself and all of that. And I also have uh, a way of guiding other people so that they are safe and they are, guided in and out in a healthy way. So there's a healthy way of doing it. There are some do's and don'ts, and I might do a video. I think I will do a video on that in the future, if that is something that you guys would want me to do, or if I just feel like I want to do it. So I don't know. I think the basis of my Nordic practice is the runes and the medicine through the runes, and you can follow that by following my rune meditations, where you get some idea of the medicine from what each rune stands for, but it's just a glimpse. So it's not all of my practices, and it's not like if it's not in the meditation videos, I don't do it. There's a lot more to it, but it's a glimpse of what I do, and I will make some more videos about the runes in the future and what medicine they cover and entail. I did some medicine videos on my Instagram that I can no longer access. It's called Dream as well with my face on it. So there's still some videos there that I can't reach or do anything with. So I will find a way to replace that in the future on this channel instead. So and then the basics of like with the tools are my drum and my rattles, and I also use except for the runes as divination, I also use some oracle cards. You can see a bunch of cards behind me, and I use different incense herbs. I drink teas and I use incense. I don't do any like hallucinogenics or anything. I don't need anything to go deep, you know. So I don't use it and I don't condone it in my ceremonies. Uh, no one is allowed on my ceremonies if they are high, because I want to be able to take care of everyone that's in the circle. I want to be able to know where they are, and if they are going too deep, I won't take responsibility for that. So yeah, and I might do a part two in the future if there are questions or if I remember stuff that I have forgotten to take with me, and I probably have a lot of them. And then I want to end with a note on I also celebrate what I call the yearly ceremonies. So I celebrate the equinoxes and the solstices. Those are the four bases of my yearly practice. And then I also celebrate some like um, harvest uh, ceremonies in the fall and late summer. And I, of course, work a lot with the moon and the phases of the moon. So the year, the phases of the moon, and sometimes I bring in the daily. Like most often when I'm gonna do like UTCetas, I did a video on that not too long ago. But you see that that I can use like the dawn and the dusk energies for that. So for me, just a side note, for me, Utiseta is a way to explore aspects of the cosmos and aspects of the runes or the Uthark, and also a way to journey without journeying, if that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't. Okay, so until next time, until we meet again, walk in beauty. Oh, why can't I talk today? Walk in beauty. And as I always end my videos, Xingling.